So, would I give up what is the majority of my life and my self expression to somehow make their 5 or 1% of discussion or opinion or thought about me a little more agreeable? Hi, I am Sheen, and I create videos where I talk to you about what I am receiving, being channeled, and I also post yoga classes. And I post yoga classes in a way, I post all content in a way that I need, and so we assume that what I need is what you need. So the people that are actually finding it are the ones who needed what I needed, and the ones that I'm talking about. So this information that I'm going to talk about, I think I received about a year back. And then suddenly I needed to revisit this lesson that I received at that time. At that time, I wasn't really writing the channelings that I got. I was just kind of receiving and being like, whoa, I never thought about it like this kind of energy. But then, I am just not the kind of person so far who's been able to, in a structured way, put things in a book, put things in a diary. If I write a diary, I will write in 10 different places. They will be found with the most embarrassing content everywhere. My son will find it, he'll draw in those notebooks, my parents will find it, no. All the people who are not supposed to find it will find it. But I think this is a good way, because in whatever form, I think I can just put it on YouTube, and the people who might need this information may find it. I really hope that whoever finds it, it makes sense to them. So this was a theory, 95% to 5% theory. There is a lot of things that we do not do because of what we think people will think about us, how they will perceive us. And in fact, I was told by one of my parents that this makes me uncomfortable, and at least when you're coming home, dress up differently. In that moment, I think I fawned and I was like, okay, it makes sense. But then as soon as I was going back, I started getting all of these feelings and this 95 to 5% thing. And it wasn't coupled with aggression or rebellion, or it wasn't coupled in that moment with the feeling of, oh, how dare they tell me this. It was just, what I want to do is 95% of my life existence, but it's only 5% of anyone else's energy or time taken. Who I want to be, my self expression, whatever kind it might be. There are things that people talk about and say, but is this really necessary? For example, I really like to climb trees, and there will be some people who will be like, oh, that's great, you should do it. But there'll be some people, is it really that necessary? Maybe when you take a vacation once in a while, you can climb all the trees that you want. But in everyday life, if you were to climb trees every day, people will have a view of you that's not very helpful. But being able to climb trees, being able to wear the clothes that I want to, being able to express my opinions the way that I want to, being able to be just the way I want to, is 95% of my life, energy, spirituality, expression, my sense of self, and it is 5% of someone else's life. Just like my 95%, they have a 95% of the things that they are. Their food, their clothes, their family, their opinions, their this, that, entertainment, whatever. Of that, maybe, and 5% is a lot, they're probably spending anywhere from 1 to 5% of time thinking about me, having an opinion about me, maybe getting hurt by what I did, but it is 95 to 99% of my life. So, would I give up what is the majority of my life and my self expression to somehow make their 5 or 1% of discussion or opinion or thought about me a little more agreeable, or what's a better word? I think agreeable is a good word. So they can have a decent opinion of me, so I don't hurt their sentiments. Which is weird. Their sentiments should not be affected by my self-expression, because that itself tells me a lot. If someone's sentiments are being hurt by your sense of self, then there is an issue that they need to address. And for you and for me, we can just call it those little parts of life where you really need to have courage, because it's very rare, it's lesser, it's like you don't need courage for big things that often. You actually need courage for little things every day. And how much you love yourself, how much you care about yourself, your self expression. And I'm not talking about rebellion. It's a good idea to check in with yourself, because when I was told about my clothes and that they didn't like this particular thing about my dressing, it was actually just, bra strap being visible from the side of my shirt, because it was very close in line with my neck, so it would show on the side. And then I thought, is it rebellion? Is it because of rebellion that I'm going to go to them and say, sorry, I'm not going to do this? If it makes you uncomfortable, you have to have a conversation with yourself about it. It was not rebellion, because I like that shirt. I have to wear a bra to be well supported. My clothing is a form of self-expression. Whether someone likes my style or not is a sense of their style. And yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. That what you want, how you want to dress up, your sense of self is 99% of your life, but probably only 1 to 5% of someone else's time consumed and someone else's emotions or sentiments involved. So I would say, do what you want to do and have the courage to find your way to do it anyway.